Okay, guys. Today we have a new lecture, a new topic: motion in two dimension. So let's discuss some properties and characteristic of a body moving in two dimension. For example, when a body moving along x-axis as well as in y-axis. So you can see from these pictures example of motion in two dimension. Okay, what are the properties? What are the characteristics of motion in two dimension? For example, you kick a football. Yeah, a football player kicked, for example, this football, and football moving in two dimension. Like it covers some distance in x-axis as well as in y-axis. For example, x is in x-axis. So in this case, at every position, velocity has its component, like two components: vertical component and horizontal component. We can say Vx and Vy. So what will be the velocity vector for projectile motion or for two-dimensional motion? Velocity is equal to Vxi plus Vyj. These are velocity component along x-axis and along y-axis. Same acceleration. For example, acceleration has same two components. One is axi along x-axis and also vertical. Correct? These are vertical component and horizontal component. But for example, if we are given, for example, velocity v, so how we can find the x component and how we can find y component? So we know that Vx is equal to what? V into cos of theta. Same vertical component, we can find V of sine theta. Okay, clear? Next, okay, we know that, for example, when body moving in two-dimensional or in free fall, there is only one force on this body. That force is actually gravitational force, which is always downward. There is only one force, gravitational force. So this gravitational force is along y-axis, along vertical axis. So therefore, there is no force along x-axis. So Ax is equal to 0. Always in two-dimensional motion, our acceleration along x-axis is 0 because there is only one force. That force is gravitational force, and gravitational force is along y-axis. So no force along x-axis or horizontal axis. So therefore, Ax is always 0. So we have only Ay, acceleration along y-axis, and that is equal to minus g, and minus g is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Sometimes you can use 10 or 9.8, it's okay, 9.8 meter per second square. If you are calculating, so for simplicity without decimal if you want, so you can replace g by 10. So just write down g is equal to 10, so then continue your calculation. Okay, these are acceleration along x-axis and along y-axis. For example, there are three equations. So what will be the equations for two-dimensional motion? We have first equation. Let's suppose I will write for x-axis. Vfx, equation number 1, is equal to Vix, and we have what? Plus Axt. But we know that for projectile motion or for two-dimensional motion, Ax is equal to 0. So first equation is equal to what? Vfx is equal to Vix. This is initial velocity along x-axis, and Ax is equal to 0, so plus we have 0. So we have Vfx is equal to Vix, and if we have, for example, x component, so Vx is equal to what? V cos theta. So we can replace this one. If this one is V1, yeah, Vix, so we can write Vi into cos of theta, because this is along x-axis. These are components. So this one is our first equation for two-dimensional motion. That Vfx is equal to what? Vi cos theta. If we have second equation, like we have xf is equal to xi plus vixt, and we have plus half a t square, second equation. So xf is equal to xi plus vixt. So vix, we know that vx component is equal to v cos theta, so we can write like vi into cos theta multiply with t. Okay, we have a, so a is equal to what? This is actually ay, or if this is along vertical motion, so vertical motion, horizontal motion, ax is equal to 0. For vertical motion, ax is equal to ay. So if this is along x-axis, so this term is equal to 0, because ax is equal to 0. So we have only formula xf is equal to what? Xi plus vi into cos theta multiply with t, for finding displacement or finding distance. Clear? Okay, these are formulas for yeah, first equation and second equation for two-dimensional motion. Okay, what about third equation? So third equation, let's suppose we have third equation, and third equation is Vfx square equal to Vix square plus 2 into Ax, and we have delta x. Yeah, you can write s here, you can write d here. So this is displacement or total distance. So again we have ax here, horizontal motion. So ax is equal to what? Ax is equal to 0. So our final, yeah, third equation is Vx square is equal to Vix square. We know that Vx, yeah, Vix is equal to V cos theta. So we can write Vi cos theta, and this one is whole square, plus ax is equal to 0, so this total term is equal to 0. So we have Vfx whole square is equal to Vix square into cos square theta. This is our third equation for two-dimensional motion. This one is for horizontal motion for x-axis. Same, when body moving, yeah, for example, equations for vertical motion along y-axis. So what will be the first equation along y-axis? So let me remove this one.
Vy equals to V sine of V
Is
theta.
excellent, excellent. vertical motion, first equation, we have Vfy is equal to Viy plus Ay into T. So Vfy is equal to what? Viy. So Viy, we have components, so this component is equal to what?
V sin theta.
Yes,
Vy sin theta.
sin theta. We have Ay, so Ay is equal to minus G, so we can write minus G multiplied with T. This is two-dimensional motion, vertical, yeah, first equation, two dimensions. Same, we have second equation, like Yf is equal to Yi initial plus Viyt plus half Ay into T square. So Yf is equal to initial Y plus we have what? We have Viyt. So we know that Vy is equal to what? V sin theta. We have initial, so we will write Vi into sin theta multiplied with T. And Ay is equal to minus G, so we can write 1 over 2 into Gt square. Clear? Okay, now what about third equation for vertical motion? So third equation for vertical motion, we have Vfy square is equal to what? Viy square plus 2 into Ay, and we have delta x. So we can write Vfy square, Viy square. So we have Vi into sine of theta whole square. So you can write Vi square and also sine square theta minus 2 into G multiply with delta x. These are three equations. So we use these six equations for x axis and for y axis. So let's try some example on two-dimensional motion. Any question regarding these equations? I think clear?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Clear, sir.
It's clear, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, now you can see this one that a person throw a stone from the ground in the direction of 30 degree above the horizontal and with the speed of 25 meter per second. Yes. What is given in this question? Given data is first of all, angle is given. Angle is 30 degree. Angle is equal to 30 degree. What is given? Initial velocity is also given equal to 25 meter per second. So first of all, find out the horizontal and vertical component of a velocity. We need to find Vx and Vy. And we know that Vx is equal to what? Yeah, this is Vix, initial velocity, so write down Vi. So Vix is equal to Vi into cosine theta, where Vi is equal to 25 and cosine of 30 degree. So cosine of 30 degree multiply with 25 equal to what? Wait 1 minute. Let me multiply this one. We have cosine 30 degree multiply with 25 equal to 21.65. Yes, 21.65. This is Vix, x component. Same, we have y component, so you can write meter here. So we have Viy, so Viy is equal to what? Vi into sine of theta, where Vi is equal to 25 and we have sine of 30 degree. Sine 30 degree
Minus 24, sir.
minus 24.
Yes, sir.
Excellent, excellent. Sine 30 multiply with 25. Again, let me check. Sine 30, correct, multiply with 25 equal to 12.5 something, Mr. 12.5.
Yes.
Okay, 12.5. This one is VIY. Component along y-axis. Yeah, velocity component along y. Excellent, Mr. Excellent. These are part number A, x component and y component. Now, what is second one? Second one, B part. How long will it take the stone to reach the maximum height? Okay, stone start from here, motion start from here, so it will reach this maximum height, this one. So time to reach maximum height, B part. We don't know about height, but we are given initial velocity and we know that at maximum position our final velocity is 0. Clear? Our final velocity at maximum position is 0. So how we can find the equation? So first equation we have Vfy is equal to Viy minus we have Gt, and we know that Vfy is equal to Viy, so Viy is equal to what? 12.5. 12.5 minus 9.8 multiply with G, and we also know that Vf is equal to 0. Final velocity at maximum position is 0. So 0 is equal to 12.5 minus 9.8t. So if you transfer 9.8t to other side, so we have 9.8t equal to 12.5. Then divide both sides by 9.8. So 9.8 and time is equal to what? These two cancel. 12 divided by 9.8. Okay, 12.5 divided by 9.8 equal to 1.27 something. So I will write 1.3. Clear? Into 1.3 second. This is part number 2. Now, third part, C part. So C part equal to what? How much is the maximum height reached by the stone? Now we need to find maximum height. So I will keep in mind, for example, Vix is equal to what? 21.65 and Viy is equal to what? 12.5. So I will remove these. Okay. Now part number C. C maximum height. C part, and we need this height. Time, yeah, maximum height reached by the body. This height is, let's suppose, Vf. This is starting position. So starting position is Vi. This is final position or maximum height Yf. So Yf is equal to what? Initial height plus Viyt minus we have half Gt square. We know initial velocity, we know initial position, and we also know time to reach maximum height from this D part, 1.3 seconds. So YF maximum height is equal to initial, it is 0 plus VIY. We know that VIY is equal to 12.5 multiply with T. T is 1.3 minus we have half GT square 9.8 and time square, so 1.3 square. Final velocity, sorry, final position, yeah, maximum height is equal to 12.5 multiply 1.3, 12.5, 16.25. This one is 16.25 minus, okay, 1.3 square, 1.3 whole square, then multiply with 9.8 and then divided by 2 equal to 8.2 something, 8.28. So subtract VF is equal to what? Minus equal to 7.9 something, 7.9.
Yes,
Yes, Mister.
is this equation, don't we have y final equals y initial plus v initial sine theta times t, or I have made mistake?
No, no, you are correct. But we also find start that VIY is equal to VI sine theta, and VI sine theta we solve equal to what? This one equal to 12.5.
Okay, sir.
Correct?
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great. Excellent, excellent. So we have 7.5, 7.9, or you can write 7.8. So this one is your maximum height reached by the body. C part. Now D part. How long will it take the stone to reach the ground? So this one is simple. No need of calculation because in projectile two-dimensional motion, wait 1 minute.
The time that it reaches to the maximum and the time from maximum to
Yes.
the ground is the same. So we have to multiply by 2.
Excellent, excellent. These are same. For example,
Yes, sir.
Starting to maximum height, time was 1.3. Same, it will cover same distance opposite direction, like 1.3. So
Yes.
maximum time, yeah, time to reach, yeah, total. This is called total time of flight. Total time is equal to 2t, and we know that 2 multiply with 1.3 equal to 2.6 seconds. This is total time of flight. Okay, clear. Thank you. Now, what is last part? Last part is how
Distance.
far away from the starting point will the stone be when it reach the ground? Now we don't know the horizontal distance covered by the flood. This distance, horizontal distance covered by the flood. So we can use second equation. We have xf is equal to what? Xi plus Vix multiplied with
Yeah,
t.
X.
Then we have 0 because we have ax.
Zero.
Ax is equal to 0. Same initial velocity, initial position is also 0. So we have xf is equal to Vix multiplied with t. We know Vixt is equal to what? Vixt is equal to 21.65. 21.65 multiply with time. Time to reach the
1.3
ground. Yeah, no, this one 2.6.
and 6.
Yes, 2.6.
The complete time for the
Yes,
tracer.
yes, complete. So when you multiply this one, so 21.65 and 2.6. This is called horizontal range. 21.65, then multiply with 2.6 equal to 56.29. horizontal distance covered x if is equal to 56.29 meter. Clear? Great, Yasir. Great, Pujista. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. Any question regarding this one? You can ask me. Okay.
Not so far, sir.
Okay, great. Excellent. We have next question. Let's try next example. Okay. A helicopter problem. A helicopter traveling horizontally at 20 meter per second. So initial velocity is 20 meter per second. At a height of 50 meter above a point P on horizontal ground when it releases a package. Okay. So first one, how long will it take the package to reach the ground? Okay, next one, how far from P will the package land? Correct. Third one, calculate the vertical velocity of package. Okay. So first of all, write down what is given in this question. Yeah, given data. Okay, so given data is equal to initial velocity is given. Initial velocity is equal to 20 meter per second, and also we know this horizontal, so height, this yf you can say height, you can say yf is equal to what? Yeah, this one is, you can say this is actually initial height. Initial height is equal to 50 meter. Also, we know that E is equal to minus G or minus 9.8 meter per second square. Part number first, we don't know about time. So, for example, when this helicopter throw a picker, so it will cover distance like this one. So it will drop here, let's suppose. One another thing, so for example, if this helicopter moving horizontally, so a component of velocity is only Vix component, because helicopter is moving horizontally, not vertically. So this one equal to 20 meter per second. There is no vertical velocity because helicopter moving horizontally. So VIY is equal to 0. So we know that, for example, if it's this position, starting position, if our velocity is 20 meter per second, so it will throw a package, but when package reach the ground, so what will be the final velocity? So final velocity is 0. At ground level, final velocity is equal to 0. Correct? Or for example, if this one, if this height we consider, this is our initial height. So when package throw reach the ground, also our final height is equal to 0. So if we use second equation for yf is equal to yi plus viyt minus half, we have gt square. So we know that final height is 0. When package reach the ground, height equal to 0. Okay, initial height was only 50 meter, plus we know that VIY is also 0. There is no velocity along vertical height, yeah, vertical axis. So this one also 0. We have half gt square. So if you transfer half gt square to other side, this will be half g G is equal to 9.8 and we have T square equal to 50. So when you multiply 2 with 50, we have 9.8 T square equal to 100. Or if you divide both sides by 9.8, 9.8. So this cancel. We have T square is equal to what? 100 divided by 9.8. If you want to cancel square, so taking square root on both sides. If you take square root, so what will be the result for T? T is equal to under the root of 100 divided by 9.8. Yes, 100 divided by
3.19.
yes, excellent. 3.19. Well done. So we have 3.19. 3.19 second. The time to reach the package to the ground. Part number first. Now part number second. How far from T will the package land? Now we don't know. Yeah, we want to find this distance from T to landing position. This distance. Let's suppose this one is XF. So we have formula for XF. Okay, this meeting will end just in 1 minute. With 1 minute. So I will solve second part in another meeting. So now I will finish this one and I will start another meeting after 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, guys.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.